Hi Viola Community, it's Mike here, and today I'm doing a contest video, and it's a contest for Daryl, and his channel is Northern Vinyl Guy, and he's celebrating 1 year in the VC, and he lives right in the north of Ontario, so it's very remote and very snowy. And the prize for the competition, you have a choice. So either you can ask Daryl to send you some CDs, or alternatively, you can have Daryl jump into a snowdrift in his boxer shorts while his wife films it. So I think this is a no-brainer, really, Daryl. I'm going for the snowdrift and the boxer shorts. So here we go then. So here's my entry to your competition, and the first one is to show a song with an unusual word or lyric in it. So there you go. This is Blondie. This is Plastic Letters, and the song in question is "I'm Always Touched by Your Presence, Dear." And the unusual word in the lyrics, we've got coming into contact with the outer entities. We could entertain each one with their theosophies. So the word in question is theosophies. Right, question number 2. Show an album from your country that is actually pressed in another country. So I've gone for this one. So I'm in the UK, so Procol Harum, a band from the UK. And this particular copy is a German pressing. So the whole thing was manufactured in Germany and it was pressed in Hamburg. So that's a pressing from another country, Procol Harum. Right, question number 3. Show a band that has a Canadian connection, a band from your country that has a Canadian connection. Now, I think the question, if you're in Canada, the question is slightly different. I think it's to show an album or a band from a state bordering the state that you live in. But for me, it's a Canadian connection from a British band. And I did struggle with this a little bit, but in the end, I went for this. And it's Fox Base Alpha by Saint Etienne. And on this, there's a cover from possibly the greatest Canadian singer-songwriter of all time, and that's Neil Young. And it's Only Love Can Break the Heart. And it's an absolutely lovely version of that song. So that's my Canadian connection to a UK band. Right. Next question is to show a piece of sort of paraphernalia, a bit of merchandise or whatever that's musically related, so not an album. So I thought I'd go for this, and it's a program, and it's a Bob Dylan gig, and it's a picnic at Blackbush. And you can see it says Blackbush Aerodrome, Camberley, Surrey, Saturday, 15th of July. And it was actually 15th of July, 1978. So this was an absolutely brilliant day out. And I can remember that the only bad thing about it was that when the whole thing finished, it took us about 2 hours to find our tent in the campsite. So there you go. So, you know, on the bill, I mean, apart from Bob Dylan, you know, you can see that, you know, you've got Eric Clapton there, and who else we got? Yeah, Joan Armatrading, Graham Parker in the Rumour, a band called Lake, who I don't really know, and I can't really recall what they were like, but it was an absolutely fantastic day. And yeah, there's some, you know, there you go. There's Eric, and what else have we got? Let's see if, oh yeah, that's a bit of nice picture of Bob on stage there. So yeah, so that's my piece of musical paraphernalia. Right, question number 5. Daryl's favourite decade is the 1980s. So he said, show a favourite album from the 1980s. Well, you know, there's no trouble here. It's just sort of deciding which one to show, because I've got so many great sort of 1980s albums. And in the end, I decided to go for this one because I don't think I've shown it for a long time. I might never have shown it, but it's Elvis Costello and the Attractions, and it's Get Happy. And that was released in 1980, and it's got some great tracks in it. I Can't Stand Up for Falling Down, which was a great single there. I mean, New Amsterdam, one of my all-time favourite Elvis Costello tracks. Absolutely brilliant, as are just about all of his early albums that are absolutely brilliant. This one's from 1980, and it's Elvis Costello and the Attractions and Get Happy. Right. Okay, so the next one is because Daryl lives in a very sort of isolated community up in northern Ontario. Apparently, there aren't even any proper roads out of the community that he lives in. So if he wants to go anywhere, he has to put his car onto a flatbed rail truck and get it shipped down. I think he said it was 5.5 hours to sort of nearest town with roads, and then drive from there. So you can imagine he has all sorts of difficulties getting hold of records. Apparently, the postal system isn't that reliable where he is, and there aren't any record shops. There aren't other people who are collecting vinyl records in his community. So, he has all sorts of trials and tribulations. But as you said, these are first world problems. They're not real problems, are they? But I live in a city in the north of England, and I don't have any of those troubles at all. So really, I mean, this is quite trivial. It's space. It's finding enough space for my ever-growing record collection. And I think it's because I'll never ever get rid of anything. If I've got an album in my collection, I'll just never move it on. And maybe I should, because I'm sure there's plenty here that I haven't played for years and probably never play again, and it's just sort of sitting there in my collection, and maybe somebody else would appreciate it a little more, but I just can't bring myself to sell records. So that's my little sort of issue about collecting records, but as I say, it pales into insignificance compared to living in an isolated community hours away from anybody else. So question number 7. Say an album that is a grail, or something you'd really like to collect in 2025, and there's quite a few albums that I've been looking for over the years, and I suppose one that I never seem to see, and if I did, I'd definitely pick it up, and it's a punk album from the late 70s. It's Johnny Moped and Psychedelic, and if I see that, I'll definitely pick it up in 2025, or if not in 2026 or whenever. So that's the record that I'm looking for. Right. Question number 8. Show an album that people would be surprised that you have in your collection. Right. I mean, some people know that I've got this already, some of my friends, but here we go. Betty Boo and Boo Mania. Betty Boo doing the do, and it's actually a good sort of fun album, and I'm not ashamed to have it in my collection at all. And in fact, when I've done this video, I'll probably give it a spin. So there you go, Betty Boo and Boo Mania, a bit of 1980s, I think it was. Yes, 1980s sort of pop music. So that's that. And the final question. Give a shout out to a YouTube channel that is not connected with the VC, so something else. So there's a channel that I really like, and I'm really into history. I love anything sort of historical and learning about the past. And there's a YouTube site called British Pathé. Now, British Pathé were a newsreel company, and back in the particularly the 40s and the 50s, they used to supply newsreels to the cinemas. So between the films at the cinema, a newsreel package would play. And of course, this was all before sort of people had sort of television, so it's a good source of sort of news on film. And they've got a wonderful archive of this stuff, and it's really, really worth having a look. It's really, really interesting, just to see how people were living and in the history back from you know 50, 60, 70 years ago. So that's my shout out to another YouTube channel, and it's British Parfait. So that's it. That's all 9 questions. So what I'll do is I'll leave a link to Daryl's original video. And I think I forgot to mention that one of these stipulations, of course, is that you need to subscribe to his channel in order to enter the competition. So that's it. So until next time, I'll see you. Bye-bye. Bye.